What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos, but I'm glad to get back to it, and we'll try to get a video out at least once every 2 weeks. So today we're going to be talking about DJI GSPro app and how to set up your waypoint routes to take the same photo at the exact same location every time you get up in the air and fly the job site at least once a month or once every couple of months. So the first thing that you're gonna do is, if you don't have the app installed, then you're gonna go to the App Store and go ahead and download it. Since I already have it on my iPad, I'm just gonna click on the app. This is the first window that comes up. I'm not gonna go through any of this stuff. I'm just gonna tap down on the bottom left where it says my missions. I'm gonna click the plus button. Then I'm gonna click on the far right waypoint route. Then I'm gonna click tap. Then I'm gonna fly to the location where the job site is located. So what I normally do at every job site, I'll just fly around the job site, do a whole 360 around the job site. Then I'll zoom in into each individual building and then take a closer snapshot of the different structures that we're building. So this is what I'm gonna do. Once this window comes up, then I'm gonna just tap on the screen. I'm just gonna do a few clicks around the job site, and then I will zoom into each individual building. So I want a picture once right here, looking at that main big building, and then say another one here and another one here. So once I have all these different waypoint routes created on the map, then the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here to the right where it has all the points. So I call this all the options. Starting with the first one, the speed, I normally leave it the same. Height, I typically fly between 200 and 250 when I'm trying to get pictures of the entire job site. So we're gonna lower it down, say 200. The aircraft heading and gimbal pitch angle is defined per point, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about once we get to that. Cornering, we're gonna leave it as straight, and then the last waypoint, the drone is gonna return to home. So now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on each point. The height, instead of enable, I'm just gonna say disable. So it'll be the same altitude when it's going through each different waypoint. I'm gonna go back to the first waypoint by tapping on the left arrow. And then I'm gonna go to the aircraft heading, the second option here. And then if you see, once I scroll to the left or to the right, you'll see the arrow moving to a different direction. So for example, I want to take a picture of that main building straight across from the arrow. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at negative 103 degrees. Moving down to the next one, I'm going to say aircraft rotation. I'm going to leave it as auto, but this comes handy when you're filming around the job site. When the drone is going from one waypoint to the other, you normally want to have it either clockwise or counterclockwise. Make sure that the drone is rotating the same direction as opposed to going straight from one waypoint to the next one, and then it'll rotate it, film, and then go straight from the next one to the other one. But for this one, since we're taking photos, I'm just going to leave it as auto. The gimbal pitch angle, I'm just going to skip through the next two and then go to the waypoint action, which is the main settings for this video. So I'm going to click on the waypoint action. I'm going to add a waypoint action. So the first action that I'm going to use is going to be hover. I'm going to tell it to hover for 1 second. So once the drone gets to that waypoint, it's going to hover for 1 second. I'm going to add another waypoint. I'm gonna do the gimbal pitch rotation. I typically have found that I like to have it between negative 25 or negative 45. It all depends on how high and how far you are flying from a building. So this is something that you'll have to fine tune once you fly the job site a couple of times. Maybe after the first time, you'll look at the pictures and then you'll see that you have to fine tune these different gimbal pitch rotations. So for this one, I'm just gonna say negative 27. I'm gonna add another waypoint action. I wanna tell it to hover for 2 seconds. Add another waypoint action. I'm gonna tell it to take a photo. So use the photo capture. Add another waypoint action after it takes the photo. Then I want it to hover for 1 second before it takes off to the next waypoint. So once it does that, then for me to not have to go into each different waypoints and do the same settings, I'm just gonna click on the propagate actions, and I'm gonna tell it propagate actions to all the points ahead. And now if I go back and then click through each different waypoint, you will see that down on the bottom where it says waypoint action, it has the 5 actions that I created in the first waypoint. So the next thing that I will do here is, once I create the 5 waypoint actions, is I would go through each waypoint, and then select the aircraft heading. Make sure the arrow is pointing to the location where you want the drone to take the photo. So now we're gonna go to the 3 waypoints that are gonna be at a lower elevation. So the first one is gonna be here, and instead of flying at 200 as all the others, I'm just gonna fly this one at, say, probably 80 feet in the air. The next one, I'm probably gonna fly, I'll say another 80 feet. I'm just gonna leave them all at 80 feet in the air. And then these are gonna be obviously lower elevation, and they're gonna be a little bit more zoomed in to the buildings so you can get more detail. So once we do this, this is pretty much it. The next thing you'll do is go out to the job site, get the drone in the air. You'll hit fly, the drone will fly automatically. Take the photos at this location where we set up the waypoints. The one thing that I recommend is right after you fly, you review the pictures, and if you have to do any fine tuning of the aircraft heading and of the gimbal pitch rotation, make sure you fix that, because sometimes you might be taking a picture where the gimbal pitch rotation is too high up or too far down, and then you might be cutting a building off, and you don't want to provide that to your client. Obviously, you want to give the best shot where the structure or whatever you're taking a picture of is right there in the center. So I'm going to leave this video as is. Hopefully this video helped some of you guys set up your waypoint routes with DJI GSPro app. Let me know if you have any questions. Follow my YouTube channel. I also post a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, a lot of drone videos and a lot of drone photos. I'm glad to be back making some of these videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.